Sorry I missed last week. I was moving, and moving is so stressful. And actually right now we're headed to go get a piece for this garage door opener so I can open it with my phone. Oh, that thing wasn't strapped down. That could have been bad. Anyways, yeah, so it just, when life speeds up, the motorcycle slows you down, which sounds like it would be on like a Hallmark card or something, but there is something so nice about having to lock in where all you're worrying about is like, is this guy gonna hit me? Is this guy gonna hit me? Like things like that where you're like, oh, okay, cool. Where as with life, when life ramps up, everything goes out the window. Because like life can be normal. It can be like, okay, everything's good, we're happy, and then it's like, all sorts of crazy. But at least when you're on the bike, you know you're gonna have a good time. Please don't hit me. I just think it's very cool that I have this as an outlet, and during this whole move, I think I could have utilized it more. So if you have a motorcycle, I mean, yes, it is transportation, but I think there is another component of it that it helps reset you. It helps lean you out, like I've said a bajillion times, but it's just so good because it focuses your attention where it needs to be, and it's not. It asks things of you that you need to do, so you can't really mess around in other capacities, you know. When I first, started on the bike, I didn't understand how all-encompassing it would be, how days without it would feel weird, how I would get bummed out, and like, yeah, there are times where, you're done riding, you need a break, you're like, okay, cool, this was fun, but I don't want to sweat in 90 plus degree heat while I'm, in gridlock. Well, always, legally split when you can, if you can't, you can't, but, when it gets warm, it's tough. There's certain idiosyncrasies. I think it's the next one. I think it's before the next one that I gotta pop over. There's certain idiosyncrasies about being on the bike that you just have to. I'm using too fancy. There's certain factors when you're on the bike that just come into play that you're like, oh shoot, I gotta get it together here. I think the main bulk of what I'm trying to say here, rambling as always, not really getting to the point, but is that don't forget you have a motorcycle. Use it, utilize it. Like during this week, I think a ride, even if I was physically a little tired, would have done me a lot of good. I think it would have ramped down a lot of my stress. Working out, there's other methods to do it, but a motorcycle really centers you out. Obviously, if you're in turmoil or something, or in sad point, is this it? Is this a Walmart? There's some times you shouldn't ride because it's like really unsafe. This is weird. Okay, I almost murdered myself because I didn't want to take that. Can I go in here? Well, it says I'm here, so this is a weird Walmart situation here. I'm more confused, I think, than I've ever been. Maybe I can go in there. Is this just like a super unsafe, like weird lockdown compound Walmart? I don't understand what's going on. Maybe there's a very clear indicated door over here. Oh, sweet. Alright, I think we're gonna go ahead and go in there and grab what we need and then be right back with whatever I was talking about. Dude. You good? My gosh, brother was not stopping. This has been a crazy Walmart experience. There was a lady in there that I started talking to in French, and she told me, she was like, she was like, what'd you say? And I was like, oh, I was speaking to you in French. She's like, you don't speak French? And I was like, yeah. And then I started responding to her in French. And she like flipped her lid. She was having a good time. She was like, why do you speak French? How do you speak French? And I told her, I was like, oh, my parents are French. And she was like, oh. And she was like, were you born here? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, it shows. And I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess kind of cool. And so, yeah, and then that part was cool. But then after, you know, there was two people yelling and fighting. There was a cop in there that was talking to a gentleman about how he's trespassed. And the gentleman was like, wait, so I can't go in the parking lot? And he was like, no, you're fine. Also, this cop was huge. Like, I mean, just corn-fed. I don't know what they're feeding them, but we should give it to... like attack bears or something. He was huge. And, ew, some icky on my foot. But yeah, there was just a lot of weird behavior in there. I think, someone stabbed my tire? Like, what's going on here? I gotta check my tire here in a second. My tire pressure feels weird. I love that I'm like, oh, like, you know, life goes so fast, you have to slow it down sometimes. Literally what's happening. I just had a few weird things happen, and I'm all sorts of, as my girlfriend would say, flustered. Hello, Mr. Bird. That's cool. We're gonna let this guy go, not get hit like I did in the parking lot. Or not, you know, I didn't get hit, but almost. I'm gonna go around. Whee! Anyways, my point being is also, like, I found that I'm trying to do maybe too much cool guy stuff where, you know, when you're on the bike you feel like you're the main character, which I think is normal, but I'll do like this where I'm like hands off, or like I'll do that thing where I drop my arm and look back and I'm like, what? Don't do that, stupid. Like, put your hands on it. Like,
pause.
Like, you can hang a hand off or something, but maybe that's just a me thing, a me problem. Yeah, slow it down, focus on riding, have a little adventure. I think there's things that are important for people to have. Like, that sense of adventure is huge, right? And, you know, this isn't a crazy adventure, but, you know, it's getting me out. I went to a Walmart. I got to see the biggest cop in all of Dallas. I really wish I should have recorded. I should have recorded. He was huge. I'm gonna take the freeway. It doesn't have to be this crazy big adventure all the time, even though I want that. And I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna do that. And I feel like I'm lightly training, you know, for these little, you know, 300-mile trips and things like that. But not everything has to be so crazy, so big. Like, you can build and have little moments like that. That was, I don't know, it was fun. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but I had a good time. Anyways, normal videos coming next week. Comfortable enough, settled in enough. I hope you use your motorcycle if you have it, more than just for transportation, which is like, okay, dude, not everything has to be that deep. Well, I think it becomes that deep.
Whoa, come on!
But I think you integrate with it. Also, by the way, today I saw some dude, last thing here, I was riding, I took a corner, and I was like, woo, just having a good time, you know, spirited kind of riding, and not like anything, you know, fast or anything like that, but just, you know, having a good time. And I go, and and I pass this truck, and I look on my left, on the side of the freeway, there's a dude, and it was on some big Kawasaki, I don't know, ZX-10, whatever, something crazy, and he was in handcuffs, and I was like, bro, no. And then I saw 3 cops on the commute to work, and one of them I kind of followed behind, and it was pretty good. He was actually forging a path for me. I named him Derek, and Derek was my big brother, and he helped me get to work a little faster because all the cars split out from in front of him, which was super cool. Anyways, love you. Have a good day. Bye.